Hey everybody, Rachel Bogle here at the WMBF First Alert Desk. Hopefully you all are doing okay. You're staying dry. We're going to get to the forecast in just a minute, but I can tell you here we can breathe a sigh of relief now after what was a pretty active night earlier. So we're going to get into more of those details in just a minute. First though, let's start with some of the top stories we are watching for you today. And also hello to Janet. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm watching here, watching the comments coming in through our Facebook. So if you're tuning in on Facebook, feel free to chime in over there, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, let me know what you saw when it came to that weather we all experienced earlier this evening. And if you have any questions, of course, about any of the stories I'm about to walk you through, feel free to ask in the comments. I will keep looking down and checking to make sure that we are all up to date there. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it here, starting with this story today. So, a man from Loris will spend 2 decades in prison after admitting to shooting and killing a man who was vacationing in Myrtle Beach with his family. So, a judge sentenced Quentin Jean to 20 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter as part of a plea deal. So, Jean shot Joshua Wilson while driving in the area of Highway 501 and Broadway Street back in July of 2022. We heard Wilson was here with his family to watch fireworks at the time of that incident. After being struck multiple times, Wilson crashed his car. He later died in the hospital a few days later. So the Myrtle Beach Police Department credits the city's camera system for helping identify Jean's vehicle, ultimately leading to his arrest. And of course, now he has been sentenced to 2 decades in prison. All right, here, another story here, a follow-up from one that we've been following for several years here about this gentleman here, a paraplegic author and motivational speaker's drowning here in the Grand Strand about 4 years ago is no longer under the microscope for one local agency. So earlier today, Myrtle Beach Police confirmed its department is once again closing the investigation into Christopher Skinner's death. So that happened when he drowned in a pool off Yorkshire Parkway in the Market Common area back in 2021. So the police department reopened this case in January, but says further investigation, quote, provided no additional information that would indicate a crime had been committed, leading them again to close it once more. Earlier this month, though, the Horry County Coroner's Office announced it and Myrtle Beach Police had been contacted with new evidence regarding Skinner's manner of death. Originally, it was ruled that he died of asphyxiation due to drowning and that it was accidental. And while the police department has now closed their investigation, the coroner's office tells us its investigation, which is separate from the police's, well, that is still open, but it's unclear exactly what that investigation entails. We'll keep you posted, though, when and if we hear more from the coroner's office regarding that investigation. So at least one of those we do know has officially closed. The other one maybe we'll have more information on for you as that continues. All right, here, another sad one, unfortunately, here, an update actually to a story we first brought you last week about this house fire here. So a house fire in Robeson County has now claimed 2 lives. First responders were called to this fire on Miranda Road in Maxton last Thursday, where the remains of a child were discovered after firefighters were able to put out those flames. Now, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation says a woman identified as Peggy Priest died at the hospital over the weekend from her injuries sustained in that same fire. Investigators are still looking into what caused the flames there. Such a sad story there. And again, our thoughts are with those folks who lost their loved ones. All right, so this next one is one that you might be able to help with here. So get ready to take a good look at your screen, pull that phone up to your face, and maybe you'll be able to help. So an attempted robbery led to a shooting that left one person dead, another seriously hurt, and now police in Laurinburg are asking for your help. So we do know officers were called to the Sammy Mart and more on East Vance Street around 6 last night, where they say 18-year-old Adamus Henry allegedly walked into that store with 3 other men who you're taking a look here of surveillance video of those gentlemen that they want you to see. So they say that he walked into that store, pointed a gun at a victim, victim. Investigators say that victim then pulled out their own gun and exchanged gunfire with Henry. Both of them were taken to the hospital where Henry died from his injuries. That victim remains in critical condition. Police, though, they're now asking for your help identifying these three men who they say were seen with Henry at the time of that incident here. So again, take a good look. We also have these for you, these photos on our website as well, if you are able to share. If you are in this area or know someone who lives there, it would be an important thing to share. Maybe it can help with this case. If you know anything about who these individuals are or have any information about this situation, you're asked to call Laurinburg Police. Their number 910-291-1750. All right, I'm going to pop myself back up here for just a moment. So, going to kind of ease things up a little bit, but this is also something that you're going to want to pay attention to if you like to save money. So that would be all of us, right? Okay, so heads up, both Santee Cooper and Horry Electric Cooperatives peak rates are set to take effect tomorrow, officially shifting from those winter peak times to summer peak time. So that means home and business owners will be charged more for electricity between 3 and 6 p.m. So the winter rates were in the morning. Now we're taking a look later on in the day. So if you'd like to learn more about these changes, how they're going to affect you, and what you can do to try and keep those energy costs down, just look for this story over on the news tab on our website for you. Hopefully that can be helpful. All right, so as promised, let's talk about the forecast. After a pretty exciting night that our First Alert Weather team did warn us about, the good news here is our First Alert Weather Day has come to an end, and with it, the severe weather threat for our area. So breathing out a little bit here, exhale. So with the gusty winds we saw earlier, though, we did receive several reports of trees down, stretching all the way from Williamsburg County here to Horry County. I know there is plenty of pooling still on the roads as I was heading into work today. So if you do have to head out tonight, just be aware. Still some hydroplaning concerns out there right now. And as we look ahead to tomorrow, you can expect a pretty dry and cool start to your Tuesday morning. We're talking temps in the low 60s, warming into the mid 70s with clear skies. And we're going to keep things warm and dry as we work our way through the rest of the week. So not too bad. Certainly a good week to maybe make some plans as you are heading out and about. And if you didn't have plans to head out and about, might as well go ahead and make some. All right. Also with that, though, it is important to mention here, despite some of the rain we just saw, Horry County does remain under a burn ban, even after the South Carolina Forestry Commission lifted its ban for most of the state, with the exception of 5 counties. It is us here in Horry County. The other 4 are out in the upstate, which, again, they are dealing with the biggest wildfire outbreak they have dealt with. But again, this video here was from just last week, so we are still dealing with those ongoing drought conditions. Unfortunately, the rain we just saw, it's not going to be enough to completely alleviate the situation for us. All of this, of course, comes as the Carolina forest wildfire continues to smolder right now at 85% containment. We'll see if we get any new updates, of course, after the rain we saw tonight. Hopefully we'll see that number continue to go up. All right, going to pop myself back up here. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're working on for you at 11. And this is a fun one. A big fan of this one for sure. So, new at 11, something fun and something quite delicious. If Chipotle is your life, as my husband certainly is. So you're going to love this if you also share love of Chipotle. Earlier today, Chipotle opened a new location right here in Myrtle Beach, featuring the first ever drive-through pickup lane of its kind in town. So a Chipotle lane, if you will. So we're told it's going to be open daily from 10:45 in the morning to 10 p.m. You can check it out along North Kings Highway near 79th Avenue North. So again, a little something fun for you new at 11. Of course, we're going to have much more for you if you're able to stay up a little bit longer and join us in just about an hour on air. But for now, that'll do it for this update from the WMBF First Alert Desk. We'll see you back on air tonight for WMBF News at 11. Have a good evening. See you back here soon.